Hello everyone, I'm back with Dave Goode and Vance Capley, the men behind Judo Comics. It's been a long time, gentlemen. How are you doing and what have you been up to?
Hey, I feel pretty good. We've been working on the blog. We're doing some more comics, of course, that will show up on the blog.
Yeah, the Good Stuff blog. It's anywhere online. Just type it in, you'll find it. Goode Stuff blog.
There are some panels in your Dr. Judo comic where the character resembles actor George Reeves. Was that intentional?
Yeah, it really was. At first, Dr. Judo, well, not so much he resembles George Reeves when he's in his secret identity as Ben Noble, but when he puts on the mask, Vance has been drawing him lately to look like George Reeves with a mask on. So yeah, that is intentional.
I try to picture it as if it was a 1950s TV show, and automatically what comes to my mind is an actor who actually knew judo, and it just kind of went together in my head.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the old television show. I mean, I grew up on the Adventures of Superman. My first comic book hero, only he wasn't in comic books where I first knew him from.
So as a fan of the Adventures of Superman television series, what was your favorite season? And give me a reason why.
Well, that's pretty easy. Even though, as far as I'm concerned, The Adventures of Superman was a show that never jumped the shark. There were bad episodes. I mean, there are bad episodes of any show, but that show never went to the place where somebody was water skiing over a shark pit. My favorite season, that's got to be between the first season and the second season. The first season was a straight crime drama. Only it was like The Untouchables, only with Elliot Ness wearing a cape and knocking his way through walls. The second season had a more sci-fi feel to it. They have the great episode Panic in the Sky. You have the one Superman in Exile, which is one of my favorites, just because you got to see George really act, and he was going up against a nuclear reactor at one point. And this is hilarious to me when I thought about it years later. As a kid, I just know Superman was struggling through this nuclear reactor, but there were some scientists that were in there before he was, and they were knocked unconscious, and when he goes in there, he takes them out, and he goes, get these guys medical assistance. And then he goes back in, and like I said, he's fighting his way through the reactor. And years later, I'm thinking about this. I said, if Superman is fighting his way through this nuclear reactor, and he becomes irradiated by the energy in it, shouldn't those two guys he just saved actually be dead? Why is he telling people get them medical assistance? But other than that, that's a great episode. It also has two of my favorite fight scenes in it. In the episode Jungle Devil, he actually takes on a gorilla, and it's Steve Calvert in his gorilla costume, and Superman makes short work of him. But it's fun. It's a guy in a gorilla costume, and I love guys in gorilla costumes. The other episode that I really like was The Clown That Cried. And in that one, he takes on a circus strongman who bills himself as Hercules. And it's as close as we got to on the television series of Superman facing against Hercules. I'd rather have seen George face Steve Reeves, but we got, by the way, they're not related, despite that urban myth that refuses to die. But I would have, it was a cool episode. You got to see Superman take on a circus strongman. And once again, like with the gorilla, he makes very short work of him. But it's a fun piece. It's a fun piece. So, seasons 1 and 2 are my favorite.
And Vance, what about you?
I couldn't tell you season by season because I was very small when they were running on our local NBC affiliate in the afternoons. I was like first grade, I think. But the one that stood out to me the most was the episode about the haunted lighthouse.
That would be the first season.
Yeah, I like creepy stuff, and I like when they mix elements of superheroes and
Help,
creepy.
help, I'm drowning.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Well, a buddy of mine, Dan Barbaro, he loves that episode too, and he loves it for a different reason. To him, it comes across as a Hardy Boys
Oh, I didn't think of that. That's a
story
good point, yeah.
with Clark Kent / Superman as being Frank and Jimmy Olsen, played by Jack Larson. The great Jack Larson being what was the young Joe Hardy.
Right.
Joe Hardy. It's a fun episode.
The series was good. It was interesting. I was too small to really enjoy it as much as I wanted to. Remember, I was 6. I went
And
back.
don't let him fool you, folks. The real reason he doesn't want to remember Superman is George Reeves is the best Superman ever, and he's always on his case because he didn't wear a wind curl over his forehead.
In all of the cinematic history of Superman, both
There we
TV
go.
and
There we
cinema,
go.
there's only one Superman that was done correctly and based
That
on
was
the
George
comics.
Reeves.
No,
Yeah.
no. If you're going to do this, we'll do this. The Fleischer cartoons are the closest thing to being the Superman of the comics, of course, at that time.
Okay, but look
With wind curls.
okay,
sir.
wind curl. But no, look at the first season of Superman. Like I said, that
It
crime drama
Yeah.
season. It was almost like they were live action episodes and of a continuation of the Fleischer brother
Yeah.
cartoons.
Except it didn't go over the top like the cartoons did,
Right.
where they would have the science fiction or pulp elements brought into it, as heavy as they did in the cartoon. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Like
yeah.
I said, the second season
Right,
had the
right.
sci-fi episodes, except for the last episode of the first season, Crime Wave, which is my all-time favorite episode.
Yeah.
And we have the mad scientist who thinks he's created a way to kill Superman. That's a fantastic. I love that one.
But I don't know what season it was. Back to your original question, and you said it was first season.
Yeah, that was the first
So,
season with the Haunted.
I'm going to say
Lighthouse.
first season because I really need to go back and watch those. I've watched some on and off as an adult. They still hold up. They're still good programs. So if you get a chance and you are able to watch those, take a gander at them. They're really good.
Well, all right, gentlemen. Thank you for your time.
You're quite welcome for your time. We're glad to be back.
But there's something wrong. There's something missing.
Yes, there's something wrong. You think that
There's something
George
missing.
Reeves isn't the best Superman ever.
No, I'm thinking of something else.
Okay.
I'm thinking about Dr. Judo. Dr. Judo is available at IndyPlanet.com and at Lulu.com, as well as Judo Comics, which is also at Lulu.com. Written and created by Dave Goode, illustrated by Vance Capley. Make sure you pick those up today. Thank you.
And thank you for getting that in there.
And thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, Steve.
No. Of course, you're going to have to cut after that.
Where you go?
No, I thought you were going to add
Are
more.
you being silly again?
Hey, okay, next.
God's sakes. I gotta play Bud Abbott to his Lou Costello. Oh, cheek!
All right.
That stays in, by the way.
We have to move on. Okay.